Welcome everyone to the brand new and much improved The Retroverse. This is a asset that we've been conceiving for a very long time and even put out a kind of proof of concept and have had it linked to our site for a while. This is a repository and an archive for all of the awesome Nestmaker games that you guys have been creating. The intent here is to make sure that they live on, that there's a single place. One of the emails that I get almost every day, at least a couple times a week, is where can I find Nestmaker games? And Nestmaker was sort of our solution because otherwise they're just kind of scattered everywhere. All these new games for the system are scattered everywhere and people want them. They want to collect them. They want to play them. They want to test them. They want to find out more about the capabilities of the software. So we wanted to create a place where you could do all that. The other purpose for Retroverse, another purpose, is we want to be able to make this a marketplace for you guys who are creating these games. A lot of you guys are trying to, put your games on Steam and putting them on itch and selling them in various places, and that's awesome, and we want to encourage that. But if people want to find specifically a Nest game, we thought it'd be great to have a home where people could come to find specifically a Nest games. So that's part of the deal with Retroverse. Now, that part of it's not up and running quite yet, but the infrastructure for it is there, and that's going to be coming before the end of the year. Hopefully that'll be all in place. So another purpose is because we are leaning so heavily into the educational component of developing Nest games, this is a great place for us to do things like game jams or events like the Bite Off. So this is going to be a great home for the Bite Off to get you guys all to have all your games in one place, easy to find, easy to vote, easy to favorite games, and also gauge the status of certain games. Like there are some games I wish I knew. Are they in development? Have they been abandoned? Did the user just lose interest, or is something still coming? I know these things can take a long time. Trust me. If anyone knows, I know. But it's great that there's some notification of the status. So anyway, I don't want to spend too much more time today talking about the Retroverse. We're going to get into that, but I wanted to let you guys know why it exists and why we want to do things this way. And if you had an old Retroverse account, that is legacy. That is no longer applicable. If you'd already uploaded content or whatever, disregard that. This is the new place to do that. This is the new Retroverse. And we're going to continue to make this cooler and cooler. And again, thank you guys at Firepixel. Thank you, Caleb, for your hard work in making something awesome for this community. So without further ado, I'm going to show you guys how to sign up for Nestmaker, for the Retroverse, and add your Nestmaker projects to it. If you're just here to play games, also cool. I still recommend that you sign up. It'll give you access to some extra features. So what we're going to do is we are going to sign up. And here you're going to enter your information. So please put your actual name here. There is a place that you can expose a handle or the name of your company or whatever. But for here, please put your actual name and put your email. I'll use heroes.com and password. Go ahead and set up a password. Now your password does have to be a certain level of strength. So this doesn't have to be the same password as the password that you use for your Nestmaker account. This does have to be the same email that you use for your Nestmaker account if you plan on submitting games. So make sure that you're using the correct email. But the password, this is just a Retroverse password. So if you try and put in a 2 week of a password, it'll tell you it's 2 week. So go ahead and try and come up with a better one. It'll give you some tips down below. And hit submit. And now, thanks for signing up. Check your email. It'll give you directions. This may go to your spam folder, so keep an eye on that. I'm going to pause the video, go get that activation code, pull it up. Hold on 1 second. You'll get an email that looks like this with a link. And it'll tell you that your account has been activated. Awesome. So now I will hit the login button. And now I can use my credentials to log in. And hit submit. If you want to hit remember me, you can. So now I officially have an account. You're going to see a couple of things. You've got sort of a dashboard up here. You've got a main menu for the Retroverse site and your sort of account dashboard at the top. First thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to create a profile. So profile image is going to show up square. I'm going to end up using my Nestmaker Black image. That's going to show up also on your games pages. So it'll have like an about you as a creator on your games pages. So make sure that you have a good image. And this is where you can put a different name. So I don't want to be known as me. I am going to want to be known as the name of the company. So the new 8-Bit Heroes. And now some biographical information here. I'm going to just pull basically from my bio. I'm just going to copy this in and paste it in over here. And what's great is I can now say, use a hyperlink to go to an external website, and I can hit apply. So now on my bio, it'll link out to the New 8-Bit Heroes website, and I could add other hyperlinks if I want. If I wanted to add bold to a certain thing, I could. If I wanted to bold my name or italicize something, I can make these simple edits, and we're going to do more of that on the games page, but you get the idea. So that add a little profile information about yourself, and you can also add your social links. Now here, make sure that you're using the entire URL, not just the www or just use the entire URL. For instance, here's the YouTube account for the New 8-Bit Heroes. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. I can add to this later. Now that I've got that, I'm going to update my profile. I am going to want to choose to become a creator, but I'll get back to that in 1 second. Update my profile. And now my profile is updated. You can see I've got my image. You can see my about. Great. This will be on my website, my YouTube page. And now I want to become a creator. So I could either hit validate license or become a creator. They'll both do the same thing. Become a creator takes me to this page. You need to have your license information and you need to have your Nestmaker password. Now, if you've forgotten this information, if it's been a long time since you've used that information, if you don't know where to find that information, here's what you can do. If you go to thenew8bitheroes.com and you go to the contact page, you can see access the activation portal. Most of you know this. If you click on this activation portal, it'll take you to our license manager website, and you can recover your password. You can review your license. You need to put in your license code. You need to put in your password. If you can't remember, you can resend your license info by just putting in your email, and then you can get that information to get your password if you need to do that. Worst case scenario, fill out this form right here. If you need help with your activation or license, we usually try and get to that to you within an hour or two. 1 day is probably the longest it's ever taken me, unless we've been traveling. So make sure that you get your information here. If that fails, but always try the license portal first. This is where you can also manage your licenses if you need to free up a computer or whatever, if you didn't know that information. Okay, so I'm going to pause real quick, and I'm going to put in my license information. And once you activate your license, I went ahead and put in my credentials. It says license successfully activated. You are now a developer. If you don't see that, it didn't work. It'll also say under your profile image that you are a player and you are a creator. You actually have a creator badge, so to speak. Now you have this extra feature up here for updated games, or uploaded games. I'm sorry. So uploaded games, we haven't uploaded any, but now let's make our first game. So I'm going to upload Troll Burner to this, and I'm going to load it to ByteOff, but then I'm going to remove it from ByteOff. I'm going to upload the games. There are no games that I have uploaded. So either one of these links will upload a game. And now I'm at a basic game info page. This should look kind of familiar from the old Retroverse for those who used it, except this is much more stable. Isn't going to give you any issues about special characters or things like that, or it shouldn't. So I'm going to call this Troll Burner, and I'm going to upload the ROM file for Troll Burner. So I'm going to find Troll Burner. And you can see it added Troll Burner. I'm going to select it. And all games need to have a game name and a demo ROM. They don't need to have a full ROM in order to function on the Retroverse, but they need a demo ROM. If you are submitting this for ByteOff, You are only submitting a demo. You're not submitting a full ROM, even if you feel like your game is completely done and you're not taking it any further. For the duration of the competition, please only keep it to a demo ROM if it's a Retroverse submission. Now, this is where it says allow ROM demo ROM download. Do you want users to be able to download your ROM? If you are uploading this for ByteOff, please keep this as yes. It's yes by default. If it's blue, that means it's yes. If you see the word yes, it means yes. Keep it as yes, because some people are going to want to download this and play this on their own systems, play this, load it on their EverDrive or play it on a different emulator or whatever. We don't want to take that opportunity away from them. We want everyone to be able to play it, and that's great with a demo, because even if you make the game full and want to sell it later, it doesn't matter. It's only the demo that you've released in this way. If you had a full ROM, this is where you would add a full ROM, and their other options would then open for a full ROM. Right now, we're not worrying about that. We're going to talk about that in a different video. This is just to get you guys ready for ByteOff. Game manual. If you have a game manual, which Trollburner doesn't, you could upload a game manual here. You can upload a file up to 5 megabytes. That means if you've got a PDF of an actual printable manual, you could upload that. Or if you just had a text file that was just a little bit of an informational how to play guide or something like that, you could upload just a basic text file. You don't have to upload either of them. Once you do have one uploaded, do you want people to be able to download it? Yes or no? Right now, this is on no. So if I want them to be able to download the manual from my game site, I would change this to yes by clicking on it, and you'd see it would turn blue. Pick a genre. So Trollburner's an action game. I'm going to keep it on action. And then definitely put some information about the game here. And this is going to be really important for those of you guys who are doing ByteOff. So what I'm going to do is I've got a Trollburner description right here. I'm going to copy it in. And this is just a BS kind of description that I threw together. I'm going to change this into a heading. And I'm going to change this to italicized, as it's a little afterthought here. So basically, this gives a little bit of information about it. But let's pretend that you are really have a great soundtrack and you want to feature your soundtrack, or you've got great art and you want to link out to your portfolio, or you've got 100 other games and you want people to see your game site, or whatever. Your game's on itch or Steam and you want to drive people there. You can make external links. So again, I'm going to grab the link for our creation of Trollburner video, and I'm going to add this as a link. Make sure you paste it and hit apply. And now that link is applied. And now I've got a link embedded, and you can add links if you want. You could put, like, for narrative, click here, for music, click here. So if you have things and you want people to easily be able to find them and they're on an external link, you can add them that way. Next, your credits. So I would make sure that everyone knows who did what for your game. So for Trollburner, that was me. And if I wanted to delete this, I could delete it. Yep. But I want to put it back. So I'm going to put programmer. That was me. Artist was Austin. And music was me. So what we want to do eventually in the near future is we're going to have this sort of like an IMDb style database where we'll have names that are searchable. So if Austin works on another game, I could add his name, and then I could look up Austin and see all the games that he's worked on, all the games that he's credited to. We're working on that. That's not there yet, but this is the foundation for that. Next, I want to talk about the promo image. The promo image is the image that you are going to see on the browse page. It's the image you're going to see on the when people are scrolling through and looking for a game to play. So this should be something awesome. The idea with this is that right now it should be the dimensions of a NES box cover, traditional NES box cover, and these are smaller proportional dimensions, sort of a digitally acceptable size format for a NES box cover, 434 by 600. It doesn't have to be that. If yours is a different shape or size, it'll just put black bars around it and letterbox it. So it doesn't have to be that size. If all you have is a screenshot of your game and the title screen, that's fine. It'll work. It'll be fine. It'll just letterbox the rectangular shape so it's square. I do have a file that is roughly that size, so I'm going to choose my Trollburner promo. It's a little bit the wrong size, but that's okay. It's a little bit too tall and a little bit too narrow, but it works great. Next is the box art section. So the box art is a little bit it's a creative decision to include a place to put bitbox art. Now, the reason we want to go with bitbox art, there's two reasons. One, bitboxes really protect your games. These are great. They really protect your games instead of just the cardboard boxes, which if they get wet, it's toast. If they can break and crumple easy. These really protect the games that are inside. The other reason is it's really easy to create a insert for these. So these are just static inserts that can be easily cut, whereas an actual traditional Nest box, while they're awesome and familiar, they have particular sizes. They need to be cut out. They need to be folded. It's a lot harder to set up the printing for those. With the bitbox, it's just a sheet of paper printed on quality paper that you can use as an insert. So we provided the template document for bitboxes if you want to put your game art in that style. It's easy to make a bitbox insert for that, and we offered a place for you to upload that. Now, you don't need that at all, and in fact, even if you upload it as of this time, it doesn't do anything. It's just attached to your game. You won't see it anywhere. You won't see it on the games page or anything like that. But as we move forward towards being able to create this sort of marketplace for you, if we're doing your fulfillment, we'll probably be utilizing exactly that and the artwork that's here. So just wanted you to let you know what's there. I don't have artwork in that style for this game right now, at least that I know where it is. So I'm just gonna leave it blank for now. But if you do want to get it in that format for that reason, that is the dimensions for it. Screenshots. I'm going to add a few screenshots. So I've got a cover screen and I've got a couple of gameplay screens. Feel free to add however many you want. These are going to show up on your games page. Do I have all three of them? You can see the names of them, 1, 2, 3. And then there's three more settings here to be aware of. Privacy setting. What's the difference between these? If you are uploading a bite-off game, keep it as public. But just for the sake of we're here, let's talk about all three of these. Public means that it will show up on the browse page. Everyone who comes onto the retroverse.com will see it, be able to click on it, be able to play it. If you have it on private, it will not show up on the browse page. And in fact, nobody can see it and play it. It will need to be you logged in. You're the only one who can see it and play it and all that. If you have it on unlisted, it will not show up on the browse page, but if someone has a link to it, they can still get there. So why would we use these? Public means I want people to play it. I want to get feedback. I want people to experience this. Private is great for like you're just setting up your games page and you're still working on it. You don't want it to be shown yet, but you want to sort of have a landing platform to put your game on. That's great for private. Unlisted is great for like, well, I'm in beta testing. I want to give 10 of my friends the link, but I don't want people to just stumble on it because it's not ready yet. It's in demo mode and it's not ready for that yet. So that's the difference between public, private, and unlisted. We're going to keep it all as public for bite-off demos. Project status, in development, finished, or abandoned. What's the difference between these? All bite-off games, even if you feel like it's a finished game, please keep it as in development for now. You can always change this later, but please put it as in development for now. In development means exactly that. I've got a demo. I'm still working on it. I'm working on a finished release eventually. What finished means is this is done. I'm not working on this anymore. This is a completed version of the ROM. If people had cartridges of this, I'd be happy. It's done. It's a finished game. Abandon is, I made a demo, I started working on this, you know what, I'm done working on this, it's not going to go any farther than the demo, it's never going to be a finished project, even the demo's not ready to be released, I'm not going to work on it anymore. That lets the users, the players know what the status is, because they might come on the site and play a demo and be like, oh, I love this game, I can't wait to see the full version. If they see that it's in development, they're going to know, oh, okay, cool, there's another game coming, I'm excited, there's updates coming, great. If they see abandoned, they're like, well, this is fun, but I know I'm not looking for updates on this. I don't even have to ask. I know that this project is over. Now, you can always go back. If you put abandoned and then you get a fire under you 2 years later and you're like, I know what I could do with that game, you can come back and you can put it back to in development, no problem. But it's just a way for players to know the status. If you have it as finished, On the browse page, you'll see ratings at the bottom. And if you get 10 ratings or more, it'll actually show you the star ratings for the game. If you have it in development mode, it'll say in development. If you have it abandoned, it'll say abandoned. So you don't see ratings for demos, because demos are usually meant for people to test out the bugs. We don't want people giving it a poor rating because it's got bugs that are associated with a demo. That doesn't make any sense. So you won't see a ratings for the demo on the bottom on the browse page. You'll just see that it's still in development. For the event, this is the last thing. When there is an event going on, like Bite Off, you'll see active events that you can participate in based on your user level here in the drop-down list. So right now, I can submit this to Bite Off 3 by clicking on Bite Off 3. When the window closes for Bite Off games, that won't be there anymore. If we do a game jam type thing in January for Global Game Jam, you might see an event for that. There's also going to be ways to make private events. So if like a school wanted to have a internal in-house game jam and they wanted to use Retroverse to collect the games, they'd be able to do that. And only people that they've invited will be able to see their event. Sort of like how unlisted works over here is in the privacy setting. So for us, we're going to have Bite Off 3 as our event. And when we've done that, we're going to hit submit. And if everything is right, we've had everything that we needed and all the art matched the specs so nothing was too large and all that stuff, it's going to say your game is uploaded and created. And that means now if I go to browse, I'm going to see it right there. And we're going to look at this in a second. Also, and you can see it says in development, I can play the game, and this tells me what's available. A download is available for this game. A digital version is available for this game. That's incorrect. It is available to play on the Retroverse. That's what this is telling me. There's not a finished game to download. If I go to account, you can see uploaded games, and there's my uploaded game right there. Also, because we added it to the Bite Off event, and you can see Bite Off up here. If I go to Bite Off, there it is in the Bite Off event, and your games will show up along here and scrolling down. Be a whole collection of all the games. What you see here is I can either go to play game or I could place a vote. I could place my vote for one game at a time. If there were 3 other games on this row, you'd just see this would be highlighted, the other ones wouldn't, and they would all still say place vote. You can change your mind as to what game you're voting for all the way up until the day we collect the votes at the end of the judging. All right. So if I'm playing this game and a new one I try, like, oh no, that's the best one, I can place my vote. It'll check this one. It'll check the other one. At that last day, it'll give us the tally. So you can keep changing your mind as much as you want. And then I can go to play game. And this is what the games page looks like. So as you can see, I've got my screenshots here. I've got my my information here. So I've got my link to Baby Heroes right here, or the YouTube. That was the social channel setup. If I had other channels, they would show up here. This should be a link. This should be a link to my profile. This is that information about the game. So you can see how the headline looks, how the italicized text looks. And then if I open this in a new tab, here's that YouTube link.
You might think creating realistic animations takes a lot of time.
Making of Trollburner using NestMaker. That was the link I had. I could also download the demo. I could also add to my favorites. If I add it to my favorites in my account, I've got a list of favorites. So let me go back and I'll go to Bite Off. I'll go to play game. And over here, I'll add to my favorites. And I can also remove it from my favorites. But now if I go into my account and I check out my favorites, you can see Trollburner. I can go back to it. The other thing we could do really easily is we could share to social. Now, all these aren't working exactly right yet. You should be able to share to them, but the images won't all show up right away. If I share to Facebook, it'll share to my currently active Facebook, and it even shows the image. And I could say, playing this awesome new demo on the Retroverse check it out and share, and people will then be able to jump right to it. So that's a really cool thing that we've added, the ability to share that with a screenshot and all that stuff. And lastly, if I am logged in and a creator, only creators can leave comments and reviews. And obviously some of you guys know why. We sometimes get inundated with crazy trolls that like to review bomb and stuff like that. No, this is meant for the creators. This is meant for us to give feedback as other people who have put their heart and soul into these games. And that's why we want to do that. So you can leave a quick review, you can leave a rating, and that's going to show up on the game's page. If there were reviews, they'd show up right here. So the emulator comes up. What's cool about the emulator, this emulator also works on, let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Hold on one second. I apologize. The Retroverse, hold on. Sorry, the Retroverse.com. And I could load up Bite Off games. And I could load up Troll Burner. And I don't know if you can see it, but this is playing in the phone at full speed, and everything's good. Now, we're working on the placement of the UI on some of these phones and some of the orientations. So if your orientation's a little bit off on your we're working on that. We're aware of it. Probably the next day or two, that's going to be fixed. For now, to get started playing, what you can do is you can click this little bar here. It's little 3 bars. You can turn on the sound. Off by default so it doesn't suddenly blast you out. I'm going to keep it off for this video. Then you can also set up your inputs. So if you have the gamepad, this is where you'd just press the up on the D-pad. But for right now, I'm going to use my keyboard. Up, down, left, right, A and B, and select and start. And then game is started, and turn on the music. I could full screen it. I'm not going to full screen it now because I'm only capturing part of the screen, so you'd only see part of the game if I did. But also I can get rid of this 3 bars here, there. I can hide it. And I can play the game. And the emulator runs really good. I know some of you guys had glitches with the old Retroverse's speed clock was kind of weird, and sometimes it was like double speed, triple speed. The music sounded weird. Tried to fix all those glitches. Seems to run fine on most browsers. Runs pretty darn good on mobile, and old Chromebook that I was playing around with it on, an Android, on an old iPad. So really sort of versatile as far as what we can do. So really excited about this, and it's going to hopefully be a great place for you guys to sort of start cataloging a repository of your games. I have seen some of the games that are coming from this year's Bite Off, some previews on the Facebook group and stuff, and I am really excited to play some of your projects. I think everyone is. So I think this is going to be, quality-wise, the best year for Bite Off games. They just look incredible and fun and diverse and weird and exactly how I wanted to see them. So I can't wait to see what you have. That's how we're going to upload our games for this year's Bite Off to the Retroverse. And yes, you could also start making profiles and uploading other projects that you have demos or finished products for. Just please only on the events, put Bite Off games for actual Bite Off games. You can still submit and just don't put that for an event. Just don't put anything for an event if you want them on the Retroverse. So thank you guys so much for checking this out, and I look forward to when I wake up in the morning having a full morning of playing brand new NES games.